Do you want to talk briefly about the smaller network option?
Yes, so the smaller network option has a little bit less revenue, and it equates to 20% less fixed route service. So we wanted to give an option knowing everyone's budgets are tight. If we need to reduce expenses and reduce what we collect in property taxes, just as a starting point for feedback and direction from the commission, we proposed a smaller network that would result in 20% less fixed route service.
That's without the Reimagine, looking at.
Well, and today we're gonna
that's
talk a
where
little
that's-
bit more about how paratransit plays into all of this, because all of these decisions are interconnected. But essentially what we will need from the commission in May is direction on total expenses and total revenue, how you wanna prioritize that budget towards fixed route and paratransit so that we can design the draft network. We will put as much service in that draft network as you want to fund.
And that's where I'm struggling, and Connie, you can jump in, is it's kind of the cart before the horse. It's the problem I've been having with this. It's like, I thought we're gonna try to reimagine, we're looking at, ridership versus coverage. And then I know there's some also federal requirements for para and so forth, but it just, how can I decide this without knowing this? That's where I've been having trouble. And again, jump in, Bridget, or anybody that's going through this too.
Well, I would say maybe it's helpful to revisit some of this after we go through the paratransit conversation, because the paratransit information I'm gonna show you does give the commission some additional options to consider as it relates to expenses. But our consultants need to know how much service you want to fund.
And I think you're gonna answer my question.
But it's basically backing into, the revenues. Here's what the expenses are gonna be.
Understand that part.
Here's what the valuation
But I
increase
don't know what
is.
the model looks like to back into yet. So,
Right.
But it's
But I'm
still
looking
the
at it
same, you're
saying, here's
telling
how
us
much
the
we want to
hours of
spend.
service on the road.
yeah,
Essentially, you're giving us, this is how many hours you can have through the budget.
Right.
And then we're saying, here's the different ways that can look between ridership and coverage.
And I think it would be a different conversation if we had been growing service with the rate of growth of the region. But as we designed those concepts, one of the things that we really struggled with was we are not resourced, even in a status quo network, to serve new growing areas in our member communities. So we are already constraining where we provide service because it just spreads the peanut butter so much thinner. Or we would have to increase the budget, which we haven't
If you wanted
considered.
service.
Yes.
How do property